Good evening, fourth grade mathematicians. Welcome to Flipped Math for tonight. This is problem solving with operations, multi-step word problems. Pause the video while you copy down your learning objective. Let's do some work together. This is our practice example. Solve the problem below. Explain your thinking. Kristen is making rectangular placemats for the craft sale this weekend. The length of each placemat is 15 inches. The width of each placemat is 12 inches. She decides to put a lace border around each placemat. How much lace will Kirsten need for 8 placemats? What is the greatest number of rectangular placemats Kristen can cut from a piece of fabric that is 36 inches long and 60 inches wide? Now this problem is taking us back to area and perimeter. You probably talked about it a little bit last year in 3rd grade, but we will be revisiting it very soon in 4th grade. So let's look at how I would explain my thinking. The perimeter of a 12 by 15 mat is, and this is the formula, P, which stands for perimeter, equals 12 plus 12 plus 15 plus 15, which equals 54 inches, because the formula for perimeter is side plus side plus side plus side. The area, which is solved by multiplying the length times the width of this 12 by 15 mat, is 12 times 15, which is equal to 180 square inches. The next step in my thinking is for the lace border that I'm going to use around the 8 mats, Kristen will need 54 inches times 8 for a total of 432 inches. I got that because I know that the perimeter of the mat, the total distance around the outside of the mat, is 54 inches. So I multiply that by the 8 mats I want to create and got a total of 432 inches. Now my next step is to figure out the greatest number of placemats Kristen can cut from fabric that is 36 inches long and 60 inches wide. We can do this by drawing a picture, or we can use our Math Smarts and solve for the area of the fabric. Again, remember the formula to solve for area is length times width. So 36 times 60, which is the fabric, equals 2,160 square inches. Then, in order to find out how many 8 of the 8 mats that can be made, we would divide 2,160 square inches by 180 square inches for each mat, and we get an answer of 12 mats in all. Phew, that was a lot of steps and a lot of thinking. But please remember that on tomorrow for your test, we will be covering multi-step word problems, and you may have to do as many as 3 to 4 steps. We also will be covering multiplicative comparisons on our math test tomorrow. So make sure you're also looking back over your notes for those items too, and watching any other additional Flip Math videos on those topics. Let's look at your practice for tonight. Now it's your turn to shine. You have 3 examples that you will need to solve in your math notebooks and bring to your teachers on tomorrow. Problem 1. Denise earns $18 per hour. Last week, she worked 3 hours on Monday, 6 hours on Tuesday, and 9 hours on Wednesday. She had Thursday off, and then she worked 8 hours on Friday. How much money did Denise earn in all last week? Pause the video while you solve. Number 2, there are 49 students in the orchestra and twice that number in the band. There are 40 boys and 15 girls in the choir. If each student only participates in one group, how many students total are there in the orchestra, the band, and the choir? Pause the video while you complete problem number 2. And lastly, problem number 3. A group of science students went on a field trip. They took 5 vans and 6 buses. There were 5 people in each van and 21 people in each bus. How many people went on the field trip? Go ahead and pause the video and solve problem 3. Thanks so much for listening tonight. Remember, solve all 3 problems in your math notebook and bring them to school tomorrow for your teacher to check them. Don't forget to look back over any additional videos on multi-step word problems and multiplicative comparisons to be ready for your math test tomorrow morning in class. Happy solving. Have a good night.